Do you want to make this FIFA 21 banner? Well, you're in the right place. This is CalCoachesFX, where I coach you graphic design. Subscribe with your notifications on to exceed your potential in graphic design. Also, don't forget to like this video, and there's a free template in the description of this video. So start off by finding a channel template just like this one. This is the one from Google support page. I don't know if they still do it anymore. And just drag out the guides from the rulers that Photopea has, and just where the lines are, 2 on each side and then 1 top and bottom. Make sure you've got them pixel perfect. So you can see I'm just changing these now, although I've got them pretty much spot on. I think there's two I've got to move a little bit, but that's not that bad. And I just need to do the top and bottom of them now. So the top done. Just scroll all the way down. I'm using spacebar to pan. Okay, so now I've got some colours. I'm using these 2 colours here. You need to get the go to the gradient tool, not the eyedropper. I've done this wrong. As you can see here, go to the gradient tool by pressing G, and then click on this bit here to change the opacity. So as you can see now, because I already had it custom selected, so you can see I've chose blue to purple there, dragged it down, and it makes a gradient like that, dead easy. And then you can also, when you've got them there, you can just click them from there to get the gradient, and it'll work just like that. So back onto the document now. We want to draw the gradient just like so. Change the opacity to around 84%. That's what I'm doing. Immediately below this layer, add just a black box. You can remove the top and bottom like I did. Just use the rectangle selection tool and then just delete on the layer. So I'm now just getting a black square behind it just to add some contrast. I'll just press Control Backspace on that. So now I'm adding a light. So I've got my brush size on 1000 pixels, hardness on 0. Go to the blending options, choose overlay, and put the opacity around 60%. You can just see I've just removed the white there, just made it, and then just pressed delete. So now we're doing the same with the shadows. So we're just painting black at the bottom. So we're just repeating the process. Make sure this blender mode is overlay and keep the opacity at 100%. Now I'm gonna add more texture. So I've got this picture of Stamford Bridge here. This can be whatever you want. It can be Anfield, Old Trafford, Bernabeu. I've just got a nice little cutout of it. I've had this above my gradient layer, as you can see. Blender mode overlay and the opacity at 60%. So next we've got some arrows to fill up the negative space. This is from Sesso's 100k pack, which is free. Link is in the description to his channel, to that video. So I've added these top left, and I just duplicated them and put them bottom right just to fill up some negative space, make it look more aesthetically pleasing. Now go to the texture section of that, pick out the second one and just stretch it so it fits the mobile background. I didn't like it that stretched. They look more like rectangles than squares, so I just made it not as stretched, like bigger, not as stretched. So I've now got a picture of Kylian Mbappé. I'm just getting him to fit, and this might be a little bit different for you. You know, you might be choosing Drogba, Gerrard, Lampard, all old examples. So I chose the FIFA 21 cover star. So what I'm doing now is just when I'm on the layer, just going images, auto tone, auto contrast and auto colour, and then messing around with the brightness and contrast just to tweak that. Although Photopea already done half of it for you. Then go adjustment, then go down to hue and saturation. I'm just bringing up the saturation a little bit more, just getting out all that colour from the image. Now what you need to do is duplicate it and move this slightly up and to the right, and then move that layer behind your old layer. Now go filter, blur and motion blur. Get the right angle, which I think I found for me was, I'm doing it to the wrong layer actually, right, never mind. You see, not always perfect, but filter, blur, motion blur, just gonna up that bit just so I can see it quite easy. I think that is a good angle for me, somewhere around there, about 150. We're going to bring the motion blur down to about 20 pixels, and that's good for me. You can see the motion of him turning into that Mbappé. Now go back to your old layer, go filter, sharpen and unsharpen mask. This is really going to bring out the details in them. So you just mess around with it with yours, because yours is going to be a different image. It's going to need more or less. I'm going for about 105 on the amount, radius with about 4.5. Now we want to get a brush, hardness 0, size. I've gone for about 100, about 700, and just rub out the bottom, and you'll see why now. So we just removed it. We then need to go and get a new layer, and then get the colour you want. So mine was from the PSG badge, and just click a few times, which is what I've done there. I'm just removing the excess. For me, it's just an OCD thing. Don't have to do it. Not really affecting much. And then make the opacity around 53, I would say. Let's see, 53 works for me quite well. So you can just see sort of like a blue reflection there. So now you've done that. Now for the most important part of the text. So I am using a font called Metropolitan, and not regular. I'm going to be using extra bold at the size 150. This can be improved or like made bigger or smaller later. So type out your username, which is what I've done here. So mine is CalCoachesFX. Obviously you can subscribe to me. Double click on the layer to bring up layer styles. Go to colour overlay and pick the colour you want. I'm going for a nice little pink here. Yeah, a nice pink. Sorry, I can. Next thing I need is to go into inner shadow. The blending colour should be white. Blend mode multiply, I believe. No, it should be linear dodge, which is just there with like lighten and screen. Opacity at 100%. The angle for everything is 30. Set your distance to 4. Spread to 0 and size at 3. Then go to drop shadow and pick a darker shade of the same colour. So you can just see if you don't have it just yet. I just made you have some time. Just to grab it. I was trying to get the thing quickly there. So blender mode normal, sorry. Opacity at 100, and just get a darker version of the same colour. So opacity should be 100. So I've said that. So distance should be 12, spread 100, and size at 1. So you can see it makes that nice look sort of 3D element. Now press the little plus icon and get the next drop shadow. Again, normal, make this even darker, you know, almost a dark, almost black, and then get distance 8, spread 100, and size 21, and that's your main bit of text. So you can change up the colours, but you can see you need 3 colours in there to make it look really, really good. With more text, write your value proposition for your channel. So mine's FIFA 21 content. Probably not the best value proposition, but it's how to make a FIFA banner. Go to colour overlay and pick the colour you want. Almost black, and then grab a stroke. So I've gone for a purple one. Make the size of the stroke about 5, and then click the add. Go down to the one below, make it 10. And change the colour. So we've gone for white, which makes it look really, really cool. And you can see that is the banner complete. Now, what I'm gonna do is just remove the things that aren't necessary anymore, like that background. We're gonna get all of that. So I've clicked on the top one, hold shift, clicked on the bottom one. We're gonna not do that, not duplicate into. I was wondering if there's a folder there. So I'm going to make a new folder, and it's all there. So then I get to duplicate that folder, and then I'll just got everything in there because it's easier. Merged the layer, so again hold shift, merged. Now I've duplicated that, so these are just like PNG type images, and I'm just dragging them from the bottom to the top, and then just making them just bigger, you know, to try and get them fill this space here, because on a PC screen, on a TV I think it is for, I've never seen it, but apparently it's used, and you don't want that looking awful. So you know what I've just done, got the banner, literally took about 30 seconds to duplicate it, make it bigger, go blur, Gaussian blur, and I'd say around 10 pixels is good, and then go to the bottom one, go filter, and you can just do last filter from here, and then there we go, there is your banner. Now you can export it as a PNG and also download it as a PSD as well, in case you want to make any more changes in the future. They will all be done to folder 3. So if you don't want to do this yourself, as I did mention in the description, there will be a free PSD available. I'm going to try and get this on Photopea template. So like, subscribe with your notifications on, and share this with at least one other person that will find this information helpful. And I'll see you in the next one.